very lucky this weekend to actually stay on the farm, not just any farm, but the farm at Cape Kidnappers. So any of you who have been there should know that that's a 5+ star luxury resort. So the first thing I want to do is find anyone here that's ever stayed at the farm. Put your hand up. Yep, well done. Hooker Lodge, Curry Cliffs or someone similar, you should be paying up. So it's a double fine for anyone who stayed there and didn't pay for it. So if you've stayed at such a place and haven't paid for it, can you please put some money in the kitty? No, I didn't, so I put some money in. Now, for any of you who have not stayed at such a place, I'm going to not fine you this time because you'll need your $5 to buy a bottle of water there. The round of golf is $875, just to give you an idea. Now, the scarves in the pro shop started at $550, so pretty good place. But while I was there, we got a tour to the gannet colony. So is Robert Fisher here? Yep, he's got something to do with that, I think, haven't you, from what they said, or used to. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. So gannets, the story today is a bit about gannets. They start their lives with two parents who rotate their time feeding the young chicks. To start with, each of them share the nesting duties and then go out and bring the fish back. But after a while, it takes two of these gannets to feed these damn young. It's a bit like feeding teenagers. So if any of you have had teenagers or ever been teenagers, you better put some money in the plate. Now these buggers live in a colony of about 4,000 birds, and the best real estate is right in the middle. The stuff on the outside is where the new birds that are just starting out and just starting them, and they slowly move towards the middle because that's the better real estate. That's where the wind and rain and cats and dogs and things can't get at them. It's a bit like owning a home. You buy one on the outskirts where it's a bit cheaper and you slowly make your way up to a bigger one. So anyone that's ever owned a home can pay. Now once the chicks can fly, their first flight is actually, their very first flight is after 16 weeks. They get kicked out of their nests and they fly to Australia non-stop. If in the first 4 days they stop and land, they're actually too fat and can't fly again. So you have about an 85% drop-off of these birds. So basically it's a bit like an OE. You know, you get kicked out of the nest and do an OE. So if you've ever done one of those, you can pay. After 3 or 4 years, they return to New Zealand, exactly where they were, and they start looking for a mate. They do mate for life, but they also have the odd fling. And that valuable real estate in the middle has actually got a downfall, because if you've one of these older birds in the middle and you land, as you're trying to get from where you land, and you land like a big flop, you're trying to get to the inside to where your mate is sitting on the nest, and they peck each other quite a lot. So it's a little bit like paying those rates on those big houses you've all got, so you actually better put some more in for the rates you pay. Now if you've had a new RV, changing just here for a second, and it just went up, you can pay some more. Now, to find a mate, these gannets fly around with seaweed. And the longer and better the seaweed, the better. So if you've got a really long, big, floppy piece of seaweed, you've got a better chance of getting a better mate. So you see these gannets flying around with the seaweed in their beaks. And once the interested female sees what she likes, then that's the marriage and away they go. So a bit of seaweed. So the male gannet actually slaps the other one around a bit. And that gets them under control, and a bit of slap and tickle, and that's how gannets actually make for the next 30 to 40 years. The oldest gannet, by the way, is 50 years. So anyone who's been to the beach, picked up a bit of seaweed, better pay, or if you've been to the beach, seen a gannet or had a fling, pay up. Thank you.